I had been living with a tumor on my face for nearly 6 years and didn't even know. I was debating if I really wanted to share this, but I think it's very important for people to prioritize their health. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? In like 2018, a bump formed on my nose, but I didn't really know what it was. And at first I thought it was just like a pimple. So I didn't really care too much to dig into it. And it was really small, so it wasn't really bothering me. As time went on, it started to get bigger and starting to like I could feel it. It didn't necessarily hurt all the time. On average, during a month, it might hurt 1 or 2 days, and then business as usual. And then I would see it grow and then shrink. Let's go back to 2018. What was going on where I would be preoccupied and not really take my health seriously? I went through a breakup and I was really sad about that. Life moves forward. 2019, I was more focused on eating healthier and I did that whole thing. And like the bump just stayed kind of small the entire time. So I didn't really think too much into it. And in that point in time, I was also at a job that I really hated because let's be honest, a lot of these people do not know how to interact with their employees. I started a new job in 2020 and then boom, pandemic. Also, let's talk about how I have a master's degree in public health. I was working in public health for years. The theories and the best practices that we preach, we can't even practice because we don't get paid enough to practice them. You know, like how am I preaching that people need access to affordable healthcare, but I can't check a bump on my nose because my health insurance is crap? Around 2022, 2023, it starts to get a little bigger and starts hurting. If I'm wearing my glasses throughout the day, it's throbbing. I was like, there's no way I can feel this raised area of skin throbbing, like, and literally growing and expanding. Most days it didn't bother me. It wasn't like, you know, a major concern doing content and stuff like that, because I'm like, I mean, people have moles. I started to get concerned because as it got bigger, I'm like, okay, this is something I wasn't really necessarily born with. Nobody in my family has this. So what's going on? But keep in mind, I was working at a nonprofit that was barely paying me enough to survive. And they were horrible and mean. It was literally the worst insurance. It wasn't even one of those like major insurance companies. I just kept putting it off. 2022, I decided to quit my job with no plan. I felt very burnt out. I didn't feel valued or appreciated at my position. And it was just a very toxic work environment too. Very hostile work environment. I quit that job and was able to find something else that I enjoyed doing. And then I got sick with like severe IBD, which is irritable bowel disease. Sorry, y'all. I know. I'm getting to the point, I promise. It was so severe that I was in and out of the emergency room twice in 2022, which is super expensive, okay? And I just started this new job. I had to spend nearly a year trying to figure out what was going on with my stomach until I finally found a doctor in a different state because I ended up moving. By the time I finally got my stomach issues under control, it's like September 2023. At this point, I've been living with it for about 5 years. I get a dermatology appointment to check it out because I'm concerned. It's not bothering me. It doesn't hurt like all the time. And I've been able to live with it, but it's still something that I've been concerned about. During my initial appointment, the dermatologist thought it might be a mole, might not be because of the shape. So she took these like microscopic pictures of it. In November, I got the steroid shot to see if that would help. But honestly, I feel like it just angered it. It got bigger. It started throbbing even more. I was like, oh my gosh, she just left it alone. Whatever it was, I pissed it off. In January 2024, we did the follow-up from the steroid shot. And she was like, you know what? I feel like this might be a keloid. So what I'm going to do is do a biopsy, like a punch hole biopsy, remove it, send it in to get tested in the lab, and let's see what it is. She does the biopsy and I'm like, oh, this is great. I don't feel the weird pain anymore. We are getting somewhere. Within the first week, I could feel it growing back. Like I literally feel it growing back, pushing the sutures of the stitches out. So most of my stitches fell out before my follow-up appointment. While I'm getting the sutures removed, she lets me know that the biopsy results came back. And apparently I had been living with a tumor on my face for nearly 6 years and didn't even know. And when she told me it was a tumor, I think she saw my face and she was like, oh, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's not malignant. So I was like, oh, okay. Because I was like, I think I was just in a state of shock because this whole time I wasn't expecting it to be a tumor. I just thought it was just like a weird bump. She did a really good job of explaining what type of tumor it is. It's called a neurofibroma. And essentially it's just a ball of nerve tissue. So it's just a ball of nerves formed on my nose. I had never heard of a neurofibroma before. Nobody in my family, you know, has had this condition. And so I was really, I'm still in shock. Like you hear me say, I'm still in shock. You're probably like, how are you smiling telling this story? And it's because this is nothing compared to what I've actually experienced in life. There have been worse things that have happened to me. I say all of this just to say, if you have been putting off some sort of health condition or anything that you know has been bothering you and it's been some time, even if it has been some time, it could be 2 weeks and you are concerned, get it checked into. I definitely understand healthcare can be super expensive, but your health is worth it. Your health is worth it. Those medical bills, them hoes. I personally wish I didn't wait almost 6 years to look into it just to find out it's in fact a tumor. If you've been living with something you don't know what is like causing it, you're scared, you're nervous, you haven't gotten it checked out yet, get it checked out, because I was living with a tumor on my face for 6 years. I'm going to be referred to a plastic surgeon who's going to remove the skin in that area, patch it back up, and I'll be back doing what I do best. But yeah, y'all, take care of your health. Thanks.